It's lunchtime and it's Monday. That means it's time for the Catholic Lunch Break, where we catch up on everything Catholic in Houston. We have an awesome show lined up for you today with young people from all over Houston. Not only young adults from the University of St. Thomas doing a different thing than you may expect from a university, but also some high schoolers from the Cool Group. We had a couple weeks ago, we had some representatives from the Cool Group talking about the MOTSE, the March of the Surviving Youth. But this time we are going deep into their experiences throughout the entire year in the Catholic Organization of Life. And also upcoming this week is the Asian Mass. We have Christian Tan, who's going to be joining us in just a minute to talk about that. But my name is Tim Mott. I'm the general manager of this radio station. Thank you very much for taking a little bit of your lunch break to join us for our lunch break, and we're going to dive right into it today. David Magian is running the board. David, we've had quite a month with parish festivals every single weekend. Are you getting enough sleep, and or are you staying up late and watching Astros games?
A little bit of both, and it's a lot of fun. Thank you for all the invitations, for having us out there and getting to meet a lot of great people, and it's good, though. It's really good to see people out.
It really is. As a matter of fact, I think we're not done yet. We've still got more parish festivals coming up. I thought we were done. I thought, okay, we've done 4 weekends in a row, 2 parish festivals every single weekend.
We must be doing good, because now they're reaching out to us.
I know, but there's more coming up. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Carol is not able to come in today, so for all you regulars who are listening for Carol's pilgrimage progress, she is continuing, and she did go to St. Mary Magdalene just yesterday. She texted me about that, but she's feeling a little under the weather, not able to come today, so say a prayer for Carol. But St. Mary Magdalene had their parish festival yesterday. That was one of the ones we were not able to get to.
Right. We ran a PSA for them, and hopefully they got a lot of people. And Father
Felix Osasuna.
He's coming.
He's going to be our guest
booked
on this show, so later on in the year.
Yeah.
So before we get into the show, let's start with prayer, like we always do. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary, that never was it known that anyone who fled to thy protection, implored thy help, or sought thine intercession was left unaided. Inspired by this confidence, I fly unto thee, O Virgin of Virgins, my mother. To thee do I come, before thee I stand, sinful and sorrowful. O Mother of the Word incarnate, despise not my petitions, but in thy mercy hear and answer me. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
So, of course, a big shout out to the festivals we were at this last weekend. St. Paul the Apostle in Nassau Bay yesterday. Their Out of This World festival was literally out of this world. It's right there by Nassau, and we had some awesome Polish sausage and some awesome guests on the air.
Right.
Plus, the Co-Cathedral on Sunday, their first ever Core Ad Core Festival, Heart to Heart Festival. From the Heart of Jesus to the Heart of Houston, the Sacred Heart Co-Cathedral. It's a great Latin pun there. But yeah, the Co-Cathedral, that was really, really fun. I didn't realize how free it was going to be.
Very free. Very free. So it was good to see people out there, and I was wondering how it was going to work. But now I know how.
With the Astros, yeah. I mean, my gosh, get those Astros. Sweeping. The Yankees, just... It's incredible.
It is incredible.
As Dave the Sports Guy, what is your official opinion on this?
Hey, I'm looking for another championship. So we should win. We should win.
You think we can win?
Oh yeah. Against the Phillies.
Yeah. Oh, we got this in the bag.
So,
So excitement happening in Houston. Maybe we should get out there with Annunciation, because they're right across the street from Minute Maid. Maybe we can go down there and set up a table or meet some people.
I'm going to check into that.
You gonna look into that?
I'm going to look into that.
Okay.
I'll talk to Father Felix.
Be sure you keep listening to AM 1430 this week, because you never know where we're going to pop up.
No kidding.
Especially if there's a game.
Yeah. No kidding. Yeah. Maybe we'll get tickets.
Don't stay on the sports station the whole time. Switch back over here.
Exactly.
Okay. And so also this coming Saturday, that's our next parish festival. You're going to be at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton?
I'm going to be there. Yeah, it's one of my parishes.
What are you looking forward to at this one?
Hey, they've got camel rides. They got the zoo back and ice skating.
Last year when we were there, I walked over to see the petting zoo. I expected to like the goats and the rabbits and stuff, but they had a kangaroo.
Right,
There's
I know.
a kangaroo there in the petting zoo.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
So they've added ice skating now. So how's that going to work in October? I'm not sure, Tim.
October, Houston ice skating. Okay, great.
I'll give you a report next week.
Excellent. Okay. Yep. Speaking of reports, let's do our sports report right now before we bring on Christian Tan to talk about the Asian Mass. So hit me with it, David.
All right. Hey, Dave the Sports Guy here, rolling out your Catholic High School sports report for the Houston area. So let's start with boys football. Straight Jesuit Crusaders crushed A-Leaf Hastings Bears. St. Pius X Panthers lost to Antonian Prep Apaches. St. John, the 23rd Lions, lost to Kelly Bulldogs. Versati Falcons lost to Savio Eagles. And Cristo Rey Lions won big time against Mount Carmel Academy Bulldogs at their homecoming. And O'Connell Buccaneers lost to Faith West Academy Eagles. And now for girls volleyball, St. Agnes Tigers lost to Antonian Prep Apaches. Duchesne Chargers lost to Episcopal Knights. Incarnate Word Falcons lost to Concordian Lutheran Crusaders. St. Pius X Panthers lost to Antonian Prep Apaches. St. John, the 23rd Lions, lost to the Woodland Christian Warriors. And one final note again, Houston Astros swept the New York Yankees in 4 games, advancing to the World Series. We'll play the Philadelphia Phillies starting this Friday at Minute Maid Park. And that's a wrap of this week's high school sports report for the week of October 17th. Keep your radio tuned to AM 1430 for next week's recap of Houston's Catholic sports. And now back to you, Tim.
Hey, that's great news about Cristo Rey. Hey, can we hear it from the Cristo Rey interns? Valeria and Jesus. Did you guys go to the game? Nod yes or no? Yeah?
Say yes or no, yes.
Were you there?
Well, I actually played.
Oh, you played in it. What position again?
Man, that's everything.
You're doing everything. Okay,
Yeah.
so the game was won thanks to Jesus here. How does it feel at your homecoming to come up with such a big win like that?
It felt pretty good and pretty painful.
Pretty painful. You worked hard for that one. Oh, thank you so much, man, for all that you do here at the radio station. We got great interns from Cristo Rey. If you are not familiar with Cristo Rey High School, check them out.
Yeah, no kidding.
Great stuff. Okay, so transitioning into the interview for this segment, the 26th annual Asian Mass is coming up this Sunday at 2 p.m. at Christ the Incarnate Word in Southwest Houston. Bishop Italo is going to be celebrating, and here is one of the organizers of it, in addition to organizing our prayer breakfast, is Christian Tan. How are you doing, man?
Pretty good.
It's good.
Thank you for the invite, Tim.
Well, no, thank you for putting this on our radar, because there are so many things going on that I can't even keep up with all of them. If you hadn't told me about this, I would have missed it completely. And so the 26th annual, this is quite a tradition.
Yes.
What is the Asian Mass about? What is the Asian community here in Houston like?
So we have 6, actually now 7 Asian Catholic communities in town. We just have the Burmese community join us beginning 3 years ago with the 24th Asian Mass.
The Burmese community.
Yes,
Yeah.
Burmese Catholics.
Wow. Okay, I did not know that there were Burmese Catholics. I thought they were all Buddhists. Wow. But here in Houston, of course, we're evangelizing, right?
Yes, and well, there's a lot of the refugees that are either Baptist or Catholics.
Gotcha,
And then
okay.
they come here.
Okay, so yeah, the Burmese, the Chinese.
Yes, we have the host this year is the Vietnamese community, and we're gonna have it at the Christ the Incarnate Word Catholic Church. It's a Vietnamese parish.
It's a gorgeous
so all their
parish
masses
there.
is in Vietnamese mostly.
It's on Kirkwood, but it's south of here. Our studio is also on Kirkwood, but we're up on I-10. They're several miles south of here in Southwest Houston on Kirkwood. But the Vietnamese community, you said you rotate the hosting each year?
Yes.
What does the host community typically do?
So they're organizing the meetings, making sure that all the tasks is divided. But pretty much by now we already specialize. The Indonesian kind of specialize in the hospitality committee. The Chinese is specializing on the liturgy committee. The Vietnamese kind of specialize on the choir committee. And so on and so forth.
You're looking forward to having Bishop Italo celebrating?
Yes.
Yeah. And so what language is it going to be in? Is it English or a different language?
So for the most part, the Mass is going to be in English. The first reading and the second reading is going to be on the native tongue of this year's host and next year's host. So this year it's going to be in Vietnamese and Mandarin for the first reading and second reading. Gospel is going to be in English. Prayers of the Faithful is going to be on the 7 different languages. But all the other parts is going to be in English.
Now, how many years have you been involved with this? Has it been a long
Probably
time?
about 10 years.
Okay, so have you
years,
seen
yeah.
it change very much over 10 to 12 years?
The attendance goes up and down. It goes down a little bit, I guess, because people get inundated with it.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
And then last year, with COVID, it got really big impact because we had to cancel the cultural festivities, the event
Oh,
afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Tell
So
me
that's
about
also
those.
another deal.
Are those coming back this year, cultural festivities?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's coming back this year. There's going to be 6 shows. Because of last minute changes, the Burmese community are unfortunately unable to get something, but it's going to be about 6 10-minute shows.
Wow. Okay.
So there's going to be some traditional dances from the Indonesian community, and then I believe the Chinese community is going to do a martial art demonstration of some sort.
Is that going to be before the Mass or afterwards?
So after the Mass.
After the Mass,
So
so-
after the Mass starts at 2, we typically end maybe about 3:30.
Okay.
And then we can go to the hall and then grab some food, finger foods, and then there's going to be a show afterwards. It's about 10 minutes per community.
Are non-Asians welcome to come?
Yes, definitely.
Okay,
We love
okay.
to welcome everyone.
So if you want to experience the richness of 7 different Asian Catholic communities here in Houston, go to Christ the Incarnate Word this Sunday at 2 o'clock. Is there anything special about this Sunday? Why was this Sunday, October 30th, chosen?
For the most part, it kind of depends on the availability of the bishop in the fall. We always try to do it in October or early November. So it kind of depends on what's open in his calendar.
Gotcha. Okay, excellent.
And as far as getting exposure, so it's both sight music, sight sounds, and food. So food is also a big thing. We're preparing it for everybody that's coming.
Well, I love that you are so involved in spreading the word about this. You're a guy who really likes to see things happen. I've seen you work behind the scenes on so many different things, including our prayer breakfast series. Our next one is coming up pretty soon, actually. David, the next one's November 10th in the Heights.
Correct, on Thursday.
Oh, going to be Thursday, November 10th in the Heights, and you've been involved with that as well. Why do you choose to get involved with so many things, Christian?
I guess I just like organizing things, and I like to keep the Catholic communities going.
Yeah, it's where our heart is, and God gives us different gifts. So thank you very much for using your talent for the kingdom of God. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Christian Tan and the 26th Annual Asian Mass coming up this Sunday, 2 o'clock at Christ the Incarnate Word. Be sure and check that out. And as I mentioned, the prayer breakfast, the registrations for that are up and open, and so you can go and get your tickets and tables right now. It's going to be November 10th at Tony's in the Heights. David, who's the speaker?
The one in the Heights, it's a really cool guy, I heard. It's going to be me. It's
You're
going to be me. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Your speech at Katie was so popular that we decided to ask you to come do it at the Heights as well.
Yeah, so if you didn't get a chance to see the one in Katy, come out to the one in Heights. Or if you did see it, I'm going to add a little twist to it. And so come and check out the twist.
Nice. Okay. The purpose of this prayer breakfast is really to kind of provide a place for Catholics to network with each other outside of Mass. So it's great for Catholic professionals, Catholic business owners, any Catholic retirees and stay-at-home moms too, who want to get to know some people in an opportunity where you're not like rushing out after Mass, you're not like trying to get your kids lunch or anything, and so you can come and join us. It's 7 a.m., 7 to 9 a.m., and we get you done in time for work. And it's a great thing. It's only $10 for the breakfast.
Only
So-
10, I know.
So it's a deal as well. It's not a moneymaker for us. It's just a friend builder.
And
So-
we have door prizes and a lot of fun. It's a lot of
yeah,
fun.
yeah. The people love the door prizes. I try not to play that up too much because
What?
I never know what we're going to have, and I hate people to be disappointed if we show up and we're like, oh, we don't have very many door prizes.
but, God-
But so far, it's been awesome.
God provides. It just blows me away. Every time we go there, God provides.
Okay, so you can check that out at grnonline.com. Look for the prayer breakfast link, grnonline.com. Now, before we get into our interview with the Cool Group, the Catholic Organization of Life, we just need to take a quick look at the calendar that's coming up. And I saw a couple advertisements for the relics,
Right.
relics being displayed, 150 different relics, first-class relics of saints by Carlos Martins, treasuresofthechurch.com.
Yes.
So I was like, I see it at one parish, and I just saw another advertisement for another parish, and this is me just scrolling Facebook. Like things come across my feed, and I'm like, wait, There's 2. I wonder if there's like any others. So I went to treasuresofthechurch.com, and lo and behold, starting on October 30th, every single day, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different parishes where these are going to be displayed in the Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston.
Wow.
Starting at St. Anthony of Padua on Sunday, October 30th, and ending with St. James the Apostle on Saturday, November 12th. So 2 weeks, you have opportunities to visit 150 relics of the church. Learn about it. They're going to be exposed for veneration. So I encourage you to check that out. So again, this Sunday, starting at St. Anthony of Padua, Monday on Halloween at St. Edward's in Spring. And then I know that my church, St. Teresa's, is going to have it on Sunday, November 6th. So every day in between, it's moving around. Go check out the full schedule at treasuresofthechurch.com. treasuresofthechurch.com. And what else is big coming up? All Saints.
Yes, of course, All Saints.
That's a holy day of obligation. Get yourself to Mass on November 1st. Or is that transferred? I forget if that's transferred. I don't think it's transferred.
No.
I think November 1st is the day. You get yourself to Mass on All Saints. If you're having a fun Halloween celebration at your church or youth group or anything, post about that in our Facebook group, GRN Houston. Anything else I missed, David?
No, I think so. I saw an email from one of our listeners mentioning on November 10th at Holy Name Passionist Retreat Center, Sips and Scripts for the upcoming the play Right Angles.
Oh, the one that we interviewed Father Nicholas Devine about.
Yes. So
Excellent.
they're having a little get together November 10th at the Holy Name Passionist Retreat Center at 7 o'clock. November 10th.
Is there a place people can go to register for that?
Yeah, probably go to their website,
Holy Name Passionist Retreat Center.com.
Yeah.
HolyNameRetreatCenter.com. I think
Right.
Anyway, there we go. Okay, so now we have caught you up on what's coming up this week. Please stay tuned because we're going to come back and talk to some really inspiring teenagers who are furthering the pro-life cause. But you're going to be hearing about the mishaps that they had on their trip to D.C. So stick around with us on the Catholic Lunch Break on AM 1430 on the Guadalupe Radio Network.
Southeast Houston Cardiology is a proud sponsor of your Catholic radio station, and the doctor is in. Southeast Houston Cardiology has been serving patients with heart disease and vascular disease with up-to-date, compassionate, and comprehensive care for more than 20 years. Southeast Houston Cardiology has 2 locations, Webster and Pasadena. You can contact them online at southeasthhoustoncardiology.com or 281-338-4004.
Hey, this is David Magianis, and I want you to join me at the St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Parish Oktoberfest on Saturday, October 29th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. This awesome festival is going to have great food and drinks, music, bingo, auctions, games for the kids, a petting zoo with camel rides, professional ice skating performances, and much more. And kids are encouraged to wear their favorite saint costume. For more information, go to the church website, seascatholic.org. God bless.
Hi, I'm Joel Matthews, business owner and partner with TRO CPA. I'm a proud sponsor of this Guadalupe Radio Network station, and I think you should be too. As Catholics, I believe we should put our money where our faith is. And as a CPA, I help small business owners make wise decisions about their money every day. You can find out more about what I do and why I sponsor KSHJ by going to my website, trocpa.com. That's trocpa.com.
Come help us celebrate our 75th anniversary at Holy Ghost Bazaar, Saturday and Sunday, November 5th and 6th. Lots of food, games, live music, and a DJ. There's bingo, lotteria, a silent auction, and a grand raffle ticket could win you a 2022 Nissan Versa. The Holy Ghost Bazaar has been one of Southwest Houston's most famous festivals for years. Come join us November 5th and 6th at the corner of Chimney Rock and Bel Air. Or see our website, holyghostchurch.net.
You're listening to the Catholic Lunch Break, where we catch up on everything Catholic in Houston. I have the very great privilege today of hosting a bunch of guys from the Cool Youth Group. And the Cool is actually an acronym, the Catholic Organization of Life. I am very pleased to be able to tell you a little bit about what they do today and paint a picture for you of the experience of this group, Catholic Organization of Life. Joining me are four guys, teenagers from the Cool Group. Let's go around the room here and introduce each one. Lucian Cardine, welcome to the Catholic Lunch Break.
Thank you for having me. I'm Lucian Cardine. I'm the Vice President of the Catholic Organization of Life.
Vice President, okay. How long have you been in the Catholic Organization of Life?
I have been non-officially part of the group for about 5 years now, and officially past 2 years.
Okay, so you're very experienced here. And what's your home parish?
Our Lady of Walsingham.
Lady of Walsingham, great. And next to you is Henry Tully. Henry, welcome.
Thank you.
You've been here before.
I have.
You come here rather regularly, don't you?
I am part of the Bulletin Roundup.
I know, and so you get to do a lot of radio, and I think you're very, very talkative, right?
Not really.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, what's your home parish?
I go to Holy Rosary.
Holy Rosary, welcome, and thank you again for coming today. Christopher Martins, is this your first time at the radio station?
No, I've been here once before, about maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay, so it was pre-pandemic. Everything before the pandemic is like out of my head. So,
Yeah.
Well, welcome back, and what's your home parish?
I go to the Cathedral of Our Lady of Walsingham.
Okay, so you're there with Lucian, and
Yeah.
how long have you been in with the Cool?
I've been a member for probably 4 or 5 years now.
Okay, excellent. And joining us by Zoom is Courage Sunderman. Now, if you listen to the Bulletin Roundup, you will know Courage's voice as well. Courage, welcome back.
Pleasure to be here.
Okay, good.
Yes, I also work in the Bulletin Roundup with Henry.
And what's your home parish, man?
Oh, my home parish?
Yeah.
The Catholic Charismatic Center.
Catholic Charismatic Center. Okay, so we got a little a variety of parishes here between Holy Rosary and Our Lady of Walsingham and the Charismatic Center. Now, there were a couple girls that weren't able to join us today, but we've got 4 of you here, so this is going to be a very good conversation. My first question, of course, is when did you join the Cool Group? But also, why did you join the Cool Group? And so, Lucian, I guess we'll start with you. Why did you join the Catholic Organization of Life?
I joined it because, well, I had been a part of the youth group at Our Lady of Walsingham for a while, and everyone had basically told me, well, we're part of the Catholic Organization of Life, and you've been going to Mati, why not become a member? And they were telling me about, all the positions they have and what they do monthly and how they meet up monthly for their meetings. They have pizza and all the different perks, like there's free pizza, and all my friends are going to be there.
So you joined for the free pizza?
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to say no to
if
that.
we're going to be honest, that's why I joined. There's a pro-life group of teenagers my age. We're all going to hang out, eat pizza, say a rosary in front of Planned Parenthood, and go to mass. Like, who's going to say no?
Of course. Now, how old are you now?
I'm not 16.
You're 16 now, and so you've been in around 5 years. So you started back when you were about 11?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Henry? Why did you join this group?
Because that's what my brother did.
Okay, so you're tagging along with your brother, and your older brother, I assume, right?
My older brother.
Yeah, so how old are you now?
I am now 16.
Okay, so you're there with Lucian. But this is for what age ranges? Like, how young can someone be and still join?
13.
13. How did you get in when you were 11? Oh, that was that 2 unofficial years you said. So you're like the groupies. You're just like looking up.
I was kind of like tagging along in Motzi. I was non-officially helping during Motzi with the T-shirts and that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
I was off the record.
You were the free labor, the mascot.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Christopher, when and why did you join this group?
I joined probably when I was about 12, but not officially till I was 13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I knew a lot of people who had been really involved in it and told me it was a great opportunity to get out there and be a witness to life. So.
Yeah, okay. So you joined kind of for the cause, but still based on personal recommendations.
Yes.
Okay. Courage, what about you? You are getting ready to go into college, if I remember right.
Yes. So I joined, I think, roughly a year ago. At the Charismatic Center, we are the church that hosts Motzi. So ever since a young age, I've always seen the Cool from a distance whenever we would attend Motzi, and I'd be like, oh, what are they about? But I never really got involved until roughly a year ago when I believe it was Henry's family reached out to me.
Hmm.
So to join them.
So you've seen it from like being on site there, these big events that happen, but you never actually joined until someone reached out and said, "Hey, would you like to come with us?" Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think that's a very a good example of kind of how these things go. Have you met any people like that? A lot of you have been invited by others. You were already part of a friend group before you got into the Cool. But since you've joined, have you met anybody that has since become your friend or you started hanging out with?
Yeah, there have definitely been people that I hadn't known before, and I just met them at Cool, and we got to be really good friends.
Okay, yeah.
I've also noticed events like Motzi, and there's other various events that I've met people at Cool group, and then I've also seen them in the same areas. Like there's been people I've met at Cool meetings, and then I realized, oh, they go to the same co-op I go to. I didn't even realize they go to our parish. And you really grow a lot of more friendship when you have that extra connection. You realize, oh, these people go to the same groups I do, and then because we have the close community of the monthly meetings.
It adds on another connection into that network of friends, and so I mean I know it's the same way. You just kind of grow closer to people that you spend time with, and so by going to these meetings and activities and stuff, you're spending time with people that again you meet at the youth groups and stuff too.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that just kind of makes it ambiently grow more. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So who is it that actually does the work in this group? I mean, you're the vice president. Does that mean you delegate, or people delegate to you?
Well, there's a little bit of everything. I know that our president, Felicity Fredo, she does a great job managing the Cool, and it's a little bit of a group effort. Her and I both do quite a bit of work for Cool, but then we also have a lot of the pressure on the board, and the board overwrites a lot of our decisions, and we also answer to the adult board we have now.
Oh, wait, so you've got like a youth board and an adult board?
Yes. So our last year we had Mr. James Pinedo. He was kind of overrided the entire Cool and was in charge of everything. And that's a lot of pressure on one man. So this past year he's kind of dispersed that through a few different adults, and they overrule like the youth board, and they kind of oversee it and make sure that they cut all the final decisions. They yes or no, just kind of helping us guide us through the main decisions we make as a board.
Mm-hmm. Courage, you walked into this just like a year ago. Did they pile a bunch of work on you right away?
Actually not. They were really chill to like new members. Allow you to dip your toes in, see what you want to be.
Well, sorry to out you on live radio here, but now the cat's out of the bag. They're like, oh, Courage has got a lot of free time now. We're gonna be giving him some work. Well, I mean, what kind of activities do you guys do? I've seen, of course, the Motzi. We talked about that on this show a couple weeks ago, and the Motzi, the March of the Surviving Youth, is like the biggest event. Courage was telling us that 600, 800 people expected this year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think about 800 this year.
Wow, huge. That's amazing. But what other activities do you guys do?
Well, we have our monthly meetings, and we're also in the middle of approval from the Archdiocese for a few different other events. We're doing some fundraising this next upcoming few months for our march in D.C. that we do every year.
Okay, so not just here in Houston, but like trips too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're going to go to Austin for the Capital March of Texas, and then we're also going to go all the way up to D.C. and take, last year was 30-something youth.
I think we took 34 youth last year and like 12 adults.
Okay.
So then this year we're going to take a trip back up to D.C. We're going to also take a bus to Austin, which is going to be great. And we're also in the process of getting approval from the Archdiocese to put on a pro-life youth conference.
Now, have any of the four of you been on these D.C. trips before?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me a little about that. What was like the most embarrassing thing that happened on a trip?
Oh, well, we got on the transit one time, and we realized that in the process of us leaving, we had not purchased the tickets yet. So we're on the train.
It was the train from the airport. We flew into Baltimore, from the airport to D.C. for our hotel.
And we had realized the conductor just came up to us and like, make sure you pay before you get off the train.
So we only had half the tickets for our group.
Yeah, you don't want your pro-life teenagers stuck there in D.C. Give us a bad name, man.
Exactly.
Get it together. Okay, well, what's one of the more interesting things that you've learned since joining the group? I think we can go one by one on this. What about you, Christopher?
Me, I don't know. Just little random facts about all sorts of people, because at the meetings we do like team building stuff, like play fun games and stuff like that.
So getting closer to people, you're learning stuff about them.
Yeah.
Is there anything kind of about since this is a pro-life kind of thing, how much time do you guys actually spend on thinking about the issues itself? Like, I've talked to a lot of gynecologists and doctors and ethicists about like the process of like when a life is a life and all that kind of stuff. Do you guys do any kind of that hard science kind of stuff, or is it all pizza parties and marches and praying?
No, we definitely do some of that. At each meeting, we try to have a talk by somebody who has authority on that subject. We've had a couple of people come in and speak about Texas legislator on pro-life and just give us updates on that and try to get us involved in that, educate people more.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Courage? Anything that you've learned in this since you've actually joined the Cool that you didn't know before?
I've not really been educated too much on like the political side of that whole ordeal. And when I came, like there were a lot of kids that knew like a lot about what was going on, from like the heartbeat bill to like the Supreme Court, all that stuff that was going on.
So it really gets
kind of
you
an eye-opener.
Yeah, it gets you an eye opener on the political side of things, the cultural. We're really in a battle right now. How did you guys feel when you heard about a Roe v. Wade being overturned? I'm sure that was a huge deal for the Motzi, but what about you guys personally?
There was a lot of discussion on, what is this year gonna look like, and a lot of our members, I know our president and a lot of the Cool members were at a conference put on by the whole Ordinariate and all of the a lot of Our Lady of Walsingham, and they were all on the retreat, right? And when they announced that, I remember hearing that a lot of them just broke down in tears. They were so happy. It was just this overwhelming like sense of joy in everybody. And we had a lot of conversation like, what are we going to do for this Motzi? What it's going to look like? Are we going to even have Motzi this year? And these past couple of months have just been have looked a lot different with that. And our prayers that we've been saying the rosary. We say 4 rosaries in front of Planned Parenthood. We've been praying for that for years. So that's just overwhelming sense of joy amongst all the members.
And the Planned Parenthood is still in operation right now as we speak. Yep. They're still referring people to other states, other locations for abortions. I think they're trying to provide abortion by mail too sometimes. But you guys are still out there, still fighting the good fight, right?
Yeah. And I even heard that they've even broadened their spans, and they're doing college seminars. And they had one in A&M and some other universities on how to do a legal abortion,
chemical abortion.
Oh man!
Without forgive my non-scientific or official terms, but like off the market kind of like abortion where no one would find out, it's not on record, and that kind of thing for a lot of students. Which is it's just terrible. It's
okay. So now I don't want you to name any names, but have there been a couple things? I want to ask, like, what's the breakdown of like boys and girls in this club? Is it kind of 50-50 or predominantly girls, predominantly guys? We got all guys today, but that's just how it worked out. Last conversation we had on the air was with the two girls. So how does it break down?
No, I think it's definitely 50-50 or pretty close.
I'd say it's about 50-50.
Yeah.
So among your friends then, has there been any tough situations that you've had to deal with anyone, unplanned pregnancies or being afraid of unplanned pregnancies? Have you counseled anyone through that kind of stuff?
Not anyone I directly know, but at Planned Parenthood, sometimes when we're praying, we'll go over and we'll just talk to people there and just try to walk them through it.
What does that feel like? Is there are you able to make a connection with someone, or does it still feel kind of like an awkward, they're a stranger, I don't know how to approach them kind of thing?
Well, there's definitely like that sometimes, but you try to make a personal connection with them, tell a personal story or explain, try to be compassionate and just really get in touch with them.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So what is one thing, and this question goes to any of you, what is one thing that you wish people listening knew right now, that you just wish that everyone, if I could just tell one thing to everyone in Houston, this is what I want them to know?
How easy it is to just go out there and pray and what a difference that makes, and just being out there praying, not just saying, I'm against abortion, it's a bad thing, and then that's all. Like the office in College Station, perfect example. There used to be a Planned Parenthood office there. They prayed and they marched around that office and they prayed the rosary out there, and there were so many people praying for that cause. It's now a pregnancy help center, and it's amazing. If you just go out there, the effect you have, like Christopher was saying, us just being out there and praying. We've noticed that there's less cars that go by on Saturdays when we're there. We hardly see any cars that drive by Planned Parenthood. And when there is cars, a lot of them stop and they talked with us. We've even had some people turn around in the Planned Parenthood driveway after talking to them. We've had people come back during Motzies and other marches and say, you know what, I was here a couple years ago and I was going to have an abortion. And I just want to say thank you because you were here. You talked us through it.
Wow. Now that's a great feeling because you get that feedback of someone who you see the change that actually happened.
You see the actual result afterwards.
Yeah. I think it's very easy to lose hope when sometimes people don't listen. They just keep going and you feel like you've done nothing to help. But when just one person comes back,
that makes it all worth it.
Yeah. And these last couple of meetings, we've noticed that the Planned Parenthood has actually been closed. They've had the gates locked these past couple of meetings.
Nice. That is great news. And anybody else? Courage, Henry, what is one thing that you want everyone to know? Go for it, Courage.
Just know, like, if you're a youth and you want to take a stance on this sort of stuff, like, groups like ours will let you know that, you're not alone by, like, any means. That your take is not, like, outlandish by any means. And if you're around those of you that might not share a similar thought process as you, some of your friends might think that abortion is okay, or it's in some cases, like some people think that it's mandatory or it should be legal. That the Cool or other youth groups of our sort are sorts of sanctuaries.
Well, what I'm hearing from all of you is that it's easy, it makes a difference, it's fun and rewarding, and you are not alone. You're in it together. So I think that about sums it up. It's a great reason. I was gonna ask, why anyone listening right now should go and join the Cool, but it sounds like we've already covered that. I guess the question then is how they join the Cool. What would you recommend for any parents or grandparents listening right now, or other teens that are listening who might be interested in coming to your next meeting?
Go on our website, thecoolyouthgroup.com. and message us. There's you can contact us through the website. There's email you can contact. Tell us how you're interested. If you're a parent or a grandparent, if you have grandchildren, tell us how many there are, and we'll put you in contact with one of our leaders, and we'll tell you when our next meeting is and how you can go there. And once every meeting, we have a few new members, and we do nominations. And we nominate you as a new member, and you accept, and then you're sealed in, you're in the group, and then you get our schedule. We'll tell you, we'll put you on the email list. You'll get all of our emails. You'll know when our big sales are, everything.
Ah, very cool. Okay, so thecoolyouthgroup.com, and you got to include the in there as well.
Yes.
So thecoolyouthgroup.com. Well, Lucian, Henry, Christopher, and Courage, thank you very much for joining us today on the Catholic Lunch Break. This has been a great conversation.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Claudia Garza. I am an insurance agent with Farmers Insurance, serving West Houston and Katy. And I am a proud sponsor of this Guadalupe Radio Network station. Catholic radio is truly food for my soul. I sponsor 1430 AM because I want to help evangelize. You can reach me at my office, 713-780-4841, 713-780-4841.
Do you like to start your day with food, fellowship, prayer, and a side of inspiration? Hi, this is Reagan, and I want you to join me at the next prayer breakfast in Katy on Tuesday, November 15th, where I will be the keynote speaker and share with you how the Lord has used me to serve and evangelize through the vehicle of my work. To register, go to grnonline.com and click on events. Hope to see you there.
KSHJ is sponsored by the Knights of Columbus Rangel Agency. For over 130 years, the primary mission of the Knights of Columbus has been to provide financial security to their members and their families, offering life insurance, long-term care insurance, disability income insurance, and annuity products. The Knights of Columbus are your shield for life. To learn more, find your agent, or discuss agent career opportunities in the Southeast Texas area, please contact General Agent Tony Rangel at 281-931-9100.
You're invited to a once-in-a-lifetime event. An extraordinary Vatican collection, Sacred Relics of the Saints, Treasures of the Church, will be on display at Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic Church in Hitchcock, Tuesday, November 8th at 6:30 p.m. More than 150 sacred relics, some as old as 2,000 years old, include relics of St. Joseph and Marysville. For centuries, healings and miracles have happened through the intercession of the holy relics of the saints. For more information, call 409-925-3579.
You're listening to the Catholic Lunch Break. We're catching up on everything Catholic in Houston. Houston's Catholic University, the University of St. Thomas, is celebrating this actually happened in the summer, but they're celebrating a huge win, a championship title. Can you believe this? But it's not for baseball, it's not for volleyball, it's not for football. It is for League of Legends, which is a video game, which is esports. And whenever I see the word esports without the hyphen in it, I always want to say it with like a Spanish accent or something. Esports. But no. It's not that. It's esports for electronic sports. And coming on to talk about this championship win, the teams that are playing these esports for the University of St. Thomas and the academic programs that go along with it are Justin Pelt, the director of UST's esports program. Justin, welcome to the Catholic Lunch Break.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, Tim. Thanks for having us.
And joining you is Dat Wen, who is, he goes by Kitsuo online, but Dat, you are on the League of Legends team. How does it feel to be a championship winner?
It feels really good to be national champion. First year competing here at University of St. Thomas, and I'm just feeling really good coming off this win.
Excellent. So we're going to dive into kind of, what esports is, how it figures into the Catholic life, how it figures into academics. And so I'm really excited to talk about this. But first, let's go ahead and get to know, let the audience get to know both of you guys first. Justin, what's your background? Did you grow up Catholic?
I did, yeah. I did grow up Catholic. My grandparents are Catholic. Mom was Catholic. So been raised in a Catholic household for pretty much all of my young kid to young adult life.
Yeah. Are you married? Do you have kids or anything?
Not currently married. And do have a girlfriend. We are living together, so we're taking the steps towards marriage, as some would say, but not quite.
Not there yet.
Not quite there yet,
Okay. And you've got the shirt on, the UST Esports. When did you join University of St. Thomas?
Yeah, I joined in April of 2020. So I'm one of the lucky few who somehow got a job during COVID, and it was not the opposite. So very, very blessed and grateful for USC for that opportunity. But yeah, joined in April of 2020. Been here ever since. So I'm going on my third year now. And I'm just really, really happy with the success and the amount of recognition our program and kids have gotten.
Yeah. Are you from Houston originally?
No, I was born in Dallas. I grew up in Austin, and now I live in Houston. So I've hit the trifecta.
You got the trifecta there. I mean, San Antonio's a little out of the loop there, but Houston is the place to be. Dallas is great, and Austin, but Houston is the place to be.
Love Houston.
When you're from San Francisco, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so when did you come to Houston?
I came to Houston last year to attend University of St. Thomas, and I've been here since then.
Okay, so brand new to Houston. What are you thinking about it? Is it a fun place to be?
I pretty much enjoy it here. The only thing I'd say that California has on it is the weather.
Of course.
I think the weather here is kind of
I will say
wonky.
this for the Houston weather, it's never boring.
Oh, true. Yeah, it's always a surprise. You never know what you're going to get.
Get ready for that cold front tomorrow. It's going to be a doozy. So, did you grow up Catholic?
Yes, I grew up Catholic. I went to catechism, grew up, got confirmed, and everything.
Okay, and so you have a big family back in California?
Yeah, my family's 6 people.
Okay.
I have 3 siblings and then my parents.
Some might consider that big, some might not. So right there in the middle. Okay, that's excellent. And when you said you came to University of St. Thomas to actually, to study esports, or what's your major?
So I'm majoring in computer science.
Computer science. Okay, excellent. What do you hope to do with that?
I have some stuff lined up for me. I have some friends already in the space, and all they need to do is get my degree, and they're gonna hook me up with a job.
Okay, great. So for those who are not familiar with it at all, I'm sure we have a lot of people in the audience who are not video gamers at all, maybe even some people who have some negative associations with video games. But when you introduce it for the first time, Justin, as the director of esports, like, how do you approach that?
Yeah, I think for the people who don't know so much about it, or maybe have a negative taste of video games in general, is, I always try to, because someone like myself, who I played traditional sports growing up, I went to college and played football, so I've gone the route that most people know and love as far as the spirit of competition is concerned. And I basically just tell them, hey, like, even though it's a different way of going about it, and there's not as much physical gifts that are employed in it, the spirit of the competition is still there. Dak can probably say his side as an actual player and competitor, but these guys, they put practice time in. These guys practice, multiple times a week. They're doing things outside of practice hours. They're trying to do everything they can to get a leg up on the opponent. And as someone who's done both, I can tell you it's the same. It's the same approach, the same amount of effort to be put in to be great. And so I think that's the misconception, is that people can see this as it takes away from, what people might say is quote unquote important in life, like maybe, historically, like having good sleep habits, good eating habits, or, just good fundamental work habits. But I really do think that if approached the right way, just like other sports are, you can get those same values out of esports, and that's what we're trying to do with our program at UST.
Okay, excellent. So there is a lot that can be positive in this environment. Describe how it works. So. What do you do as a video game esports player? Maybe Dad, what's your experience with it?
So pretty much it's just a competition. What ends up happening is you do a lot of practice online. A lot of the time you're trying to showcase yourself online, and then once you prove yourself, you go compete in actual events. They call them LAN events, but that pretty much just means they fly everyone out to a single venue, and then everyone hangs out in the city, and then that's where you compete in front of an audience.
So when you're training, is it? Do you have to have a special setup? Do you go to gym, or does it? What?
A lot of the time, a lot of players will practice from their own setups at home, like at their desk, at the comfort of like their room. But at UST, we have an esports facility where we're able to train and practice there in person, and we'll be able to, meet up and hang out with each other, and have a face-to-face interaction with other humans.
Now, video games have been around for a while, and a lot of people, we view them as kind of just, casual, goof off kind of things, a way to kill some time, have some fun. When did it become competitive in this way?
Yeah, I think in this way, the competition has been starting at least the early 2000s, at least grassroots. But I think really in the last 3 to 4 years, especially during the times with COVID, I think we saw people using it as a way to connect. And I think that's another underestimated value of video games, is that I think people historically have thought, well, this is a way to silo yourself. You just shut yourself in your room, you close the door, mom and dad leave me alone, I'm playing my game. And now that's just not really the environment in which video games are nowadays. Nowadays, it's primarily played online, where you are connecting with people, or through competition like our guys are, where you're meeting your teammates in person and creating these new connections. So I really do think it's the last 3 or 4 years where this has changed, and I think that's kind of what I want people to know, at least from my end, is that for you people listening, if your kids are playing, definitely it's not something to where I think that they're trying to be a loner. There is ways for them to make friends and to be a part of a team and to really, reach their full potential that wasn't there, at least when I was growing up. I'm sure when you were growing up, and most of our listeners.
So are these mostly like computer games or like console games, or is it any kind of game could develop into a competitive sport, or only certain ones? How does it work?
For us, it is computer games like that, and his teammates, they all play their game on the computer. It's only played on the computer. And for the most part, I would say most of them are played on the computer. There are still some games that are on console, that you can still play. But I think if you're really serious about wanting to be competitive, a computer is probably the best route to go.
Okay. So how is it similar to physical sports, and how is it different from physical sports? It feels to me like we put this word sports on there because it's competitive, and then
Right.
we get all those associations of physical training and going out and working really hard. But how is it different than that, and how is it similar to that?
Yeah, so I definitely want Dat to kind of weigh his opinion, again, because he's the one who competes and he's been doing it for years. But for someone like me at least who has the experience of both, I think the ways they're similar is first off the camaraderie you get. I get the same feeling of the camaraderie of the teams we have with Dat's team, with some of the teams on our other games. As the same feelings I got when I was in the locker room after wins in football, right? It feels good to win, to know that these guys put the practice in and they come out on top in big matches. That feeling before big matches, when you're nervous and, you spend all this time to prepare. I mean, I think that'll tell you I get more nervous than they do when they play their big matches. So I think all those feelings you get from competition, at the end of the day, competition's competition. And that's something I've realized throughout this journey is it doesn't matter if you're putting a helmet on, if you're grabbing, a wood bat like the Astros are in the World Series. The feeling you get when you're playing these competitive esports games, it's the same feeling. You're building these relationships, you're in a team environment. You're learning skills that's going to translate to the workforce, right?
Mm-hmm.
How to be a team player, how to make sacrifices. And then the way it's different is obviously it's just not physical, right? As you said, to be a great, football player, you would, throw routes, or a baseball player, you go to the batting cages. For a League of Legends player, and maybe Dak can shed more light, you play a lot of games of solo queue, right? You experiment with the different champions, you fine tune your skills on a specific champion, and, make sure that you're able to compete at a high level for your teammates. So,
I see. Yeah. So that what motivates you in this? When did you get started in competitive video gaming?
Growing up, I've always been like a competitive person my whole life. No matter what it was I was doing, even if it was like me playing sports, me going out in the playground as a kid, like I had to be the best at what I was doing. I had to be the best player like on the soccer
You just
field.
got that ambition. You got that drive.
I had the drive, and that's what pushed me a lot. So then whenever I picked up the controller, I was like, I need to be the best at this. I have to be the best at this. And ever since then, it's just kind of taken me down this route, and that's where I am right now.
Okay, so in high school, was it solo gaming or team gaming the whole time?
A lot of the times it was more solo, and then when it came to team stuff, I was less happy with it because I felt like I was in less control of what I was able to accomplish.
Okay. So you've had to do probably some growing then to be able to compete on a team like UST's.
Of course. I mean, I've learned a lot of skills in which my role is of the team captain. Like, I think I've learned a lot of leadership skills and I had a lot of maturing to do, that's for sure.
Yeah, you had to let go of a lot of that. And maybe, so what is it that you love the most right now? Like when you're preparing for a training, you're playing the stuff, or doing a championship, what is it that gives you the biggest thrill? What do you love about it that keeps you coming back?
I think just being there on the stage and like performing in front of the audience, and then just hearing them like cheer in the crowd and just see how they like react to when big things happen in the game. I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, okay. Now, you guys are at the University of St. Thomas, which is Houston's Catholic university, and so we're the Catholic radio station here. We always want to focus on kind of where we find our faith in our sports. Our faith in our lives, and that includes sports as well. So it also includes esports. How does it feel representing a Christian university when you're going into a tournament that's based around video games online? Do you feel any additional pressure to behave or to act a certain way? Do you find that you're able to bring the grace of Christ and the light of Christ into this world? Tell me about how your faith informs the way you play.
Yeah, I mean, I think, for our team, there really isn't too much added pressure. I think, we put the pressure on ourselves, and I've always made sure to let the guys know really from day one when they stepped on campus that, hey, from now on, not only do you represent yourself and the name of the family that you carry with you, you also represent this university. And like you said, Tim, a university that, that is founded in Christ and is Catholic, that also does come with making sure we're upholding the values of that. And that's something that the guys know and understand when they come here, right? And that's just part of it. When you accept opportunities to be a part of a great program, it comes with great responsibilities. Not to plug a Spider-Man reference, but it is what it is. And so, I just want to say I'm really proud, of these guys and the way they handle that. And I think for us, sort of the big positive that comes out of it is inadvertently through our guys performing at a high level, winning these championships, the name of the University of St. Thomas is getting out to more people, more ears, more eyes than I would humbly like to believe would have otherwise. And with that comes with the word of Christ also getting out there, right? And so so for us to be doing that, I hope that we're making not only the Catholic community crowd, but just Christians in general, that through esports, the word of Christ and schools rooted in Catholicism are getting out into the world.
Okay, yeah. We only have a couple minutes left. There's so many different aspects I'd love to dive deep on here, but we need to talk about like the academic section of this, because it's not just the team that's competing like the sports teams do.
Right.
You also have programs in the esports. So what majors are available in the esports program?
Yeah, so we actually don't have any majors available, and that was a decision I made when I took the job. And the reason for that being is I said from day one, I don't want to have a major in which I don't feel confident that we can employ a student into the workforce the year after they graduate in that given major, right?
Oh, okay.
So if I at the moment, I'm not confident that if we had someone who spent their 4 years, spent their hard-earned money or their parents' hard-earned money at our university and had an esports major, I'm not 100% certain that I could promise them a job out of college. And until that happens, I don't want to market that or give that false sense of hope. So we do have minors. We have classes that are very ground level, and it's really just about educating just the general student on what esports is. And we're looking to branch out from that and create specialized programs in tandem with programs that are already established, like a psychology program for coaching, like a business or finance side of UST for like entrepreneurship or business management. We have a production department that we are just now building with someone we hired. So I know production, like a studio like this, is also big in esports. So we want to start getting students hands-on work. So maybe if you get a student from USC that says, "Hey, yeah, I worked at our studio and did the sound, and I can do that day one here with you guys," right?
Hey, we're always
Stuff like
looking for
that.
interns. We've got some great Cristo Rey guys here. Dad, if you know anybody who's looking for an internship, send them over this way. Well, Justin Pelt from the UST Esports, director of UST Esports, and Dat Wen Kitsuo here, the team captain for the League of Legends team. Thank you very much for joining us on the Catholic Lunch Break. Where can people go to learn more about this?
Yeah, I would say our socials on social media are the best place right now. So our Twitter handle is at UST Esports with an _, and our Instagram handle is just at UST Esports. Or people can go to the St. Tom website that we have, and there should be an esports tab somewhere on there as well.
sttom.edu/esports. I think that'll get you there. Well, this will do it for another Catholic Lunch Break on AM 1430. I have had an awesome time talking, being very inspired by all of the young people who have been on today, from the Cool Group, from the University of St. Thomas, and about the Asian Mass earlier on in the program. And I'm very, very inspired that you have joined us today for your lunch break. Be sure and check out our Facebook group, GRN Houston, for all kinds of Catholic stuff happening all over Houston. And until next time, when we talk with Father Stephen Reynolds for our Smells and Bells segment, stay Catholic, Houston, and may God richly bless you.